Beauty Inside is almost an ACIM parable about identity, form, and the terror and liberation of discovering that what we call a person is unstable. The central premise is deeply ACIM compatible. The main character wakes up each day in a different body while somehow remaining the same I underneath. That immediately challenges one of the ego's foundational assumptions: I am this body. ACIM repeatedly says identity is not located in form. The movie externalizes this psychologically and visually. One day, the character appears old, young, male, female, different race, different physical features, yet internally there is continuity of awareness. The discomfort the film creates is important. Most people unconsciously build relationship through form recognition: face, voice, age, gender, attractiveness, personality, consistency. The movie destabilizes all of that. It asks, if all the surface markers change, what exactly are we loving? ACIM would push even further. Do we actually love essence, or do we mostly attach to symbols? The romantic tension in the film becomes spiritually revealing because the partner is forced into a confrontation with conditional love. She wants continuity, predictability, recognizable form. That is human. But it also exposes how much the ego depends on stable images to feel safe. The film does not mock this struggle. It reveals its difficulty, honestly. From an ACIM perspective, the shifting bodies symbolize the instability of the ego self itself. Personality is not nearly as fixed as we imagine. The Course would say the self-concept is constantly rearranging masks: professional self, spiritual self, wounded self, attractive self, rejected self, successful self. The body becomes a costume for identification. In the movie, every morning is a forced ego death. No fixed image survives. That is terrifying to the part of the mind seeking control through identity consistency. But there is also freedom hidden inside it. Because if awareness remains while form changes, then perhaps identity is deeper than appearance altogether. One of the strongest ACIM themes here is the difference between recognition and vision. Recognition says, I know you because I recognize your form. Vision says, I know you beyond form. The love story only works to the degree the characters begin moving from recognition toward vision. Not perfectly, not sentimentally. And that honesty matters. The movie also exposes how exhausting image management becomes. The main character must constantly adapt socially because the world responds differently depending on the body being worn that day. ACIM similarly points out that worldly identity is inherently unstable because it depends on external validation and shifting perception. The ego says, who are you today? Spirit asks, what has ever actually changed? There is also a subtle meditation here on specialness. Certain bodies receive more acceptance, attraction, safety, credibility, or affection. The film quietly reveals society's attachment to external hierarchy. ACIM would call this the attempt to establish value through form differences. But if consciousness remains continuous beneath all appearances, then those hierarchies begin collapsing. The film becomes almost a forgiveness lesson. Can love survive the collapse of preferred form? Not romantic idealism, actual perception beyond appearance. And psychologically, the movie reveals something important ACIM students sometimes bypass too quickly. The nervous system really does react to form. The partner's struggle is not unspiritual. It reveals how deeply attachment to predictability and embodiment runs. The healing is not pretending form does not matter while secretly terrified by change. The healing is becoming more honest about how identity has been constructed around form in the first place. The movie ultimately points toward a deeply ACIM-like insight. The body may change endlessly. The personality may fluctuate. Roles may rearrange, images may dissolve, yet something quietly aware remains untouched beneath the shifting appearances. And perhaps love begins maturing the moment it stops asking form to guarantee reality.